Before we get into today's video, if you're new, you like the NBA, high school, college, really like basketball in general, I really think that you would love this channel. So if you aren't already, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I upload at a new daily basis. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all those things would be a big help to me to reach that goal, and I'd be really thankful for it. But with that being said, let's talk about Karl-Anthony Towns, who was one of the best players in the NBA, and I believe he's the best big man shooter ever. He was on pace to hit 273 pointers this year if he played all 82 games. Of course, he only played 35, and of course, we all know what happened with the season. But 270 would have put him at 6th all-time, would have passed Ray Allen for that 6th spot. And it wasn't like he was a shot chucking either. He did this efficiently. He did this on 7.9 attempts, and he did it on 41.2% shooting from 3, which is really insane to think about for a big man, or in general, if we're being honest with ourselves. And it wasn't like he was just taking spot-up threes. He was taking plenty of shots off the dribble from 3-point range. In this year, he averaged 26.5 points per game, 10.8 rebounds per game, and 4.4 assists per game in 33.9 minutes per game. Per 36, that's 28.1 points per game, 11.5 rebounds per game, and 4.6 rebounds per game. And this is the most insane part to me. He didn't shoot below 40% from any distance he took at least 10% of his shots from. Any distance he took that was like more than 10% of where he was taking shots from, he didn't shoot below 40% from that range, which is mind-boggling to think about. He took 32.8% of his shots from the 0 to 3 foot range, he took 14.8% of his shots from 3 to 10, and he took around 44.5% of his shots from 3-point range. He shot 72.1% from the paint, he shot 45.7% from 3 to 10 foot range, and he shot 41.2% from 3, like I said earlier. The only two that are below 40% are his 10 to 16 foot range, which is at 25%, and his 16 to 3-point line, which is at 27.6%. And he only took about 3% of his shots from the 10 to 16 range, and only about 4% of his shots from the 16 to 3-point range. And that really only gives you about 7% of his shots that he's taking from the mid-range. So, that really leaves about 93% of his shots he's taking everywhere else on the court, and he's shooting about 40%, or at least 40% from those other areas, the other 93% of the court where he takes his shots. And he gets to the line at a decent rate as well. He gets to the line 6.5 times a game. One thing I would like to see improve, though, is I do think he could potentially, play more in the paint, score more in the paint. But when you're that offensively gifted, I don't think it matters too much. But it would help because he is physically built to just take guys in the paint and just bully them. And defensively, though, I don't think it's that much of a concern, honestly. He's so gifted offensively, it really doesn't matter that if he's a good defender. He's not a good defender. I'll say this right now. He's not a good defender, but he's not as bad, at least when I watched him, for me to say, oh, he's just a negative on defense. He had a positive box score plus minus defensively, and he had 1.3 defensive win saves in 35 games this year. I don't think he's necessarily as bad as some people think he is on defense. I just think that's a quote-unquote soft narrative that he's developed, but he's not as bad defensively as you would think. But either way, it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, the advanced stats, I know they're a bit flawed. I know my eye test could be a bit flawed, but I don't think he's as bad defensively, but it doesn't really even matter because he's just that gifted offensively. I think it's too early. Again, he's only like 24, 25 years old. But when it's all said and done, I truly believe that we could be talking about Karl-Anthony Towns as the most offensively gifted big man of all time. He's really the apex offensively of what you look for in a modern day center. He scores well, he scores efficiently, he shoots from 3 well, he shoots off the dribble, he does that efficiently as well. He's a decent passer. He averages almost 5 assists per game per 36 minutes. And really, there's no major offensive flaw in his game offensively. Again, he's one of the best 3 big men in the league. I think he's one of the most offensively gifted big men of all time, if not the most offensively gifted big man of all time. I think right now, he's the greatest big man shooter of all time, just based off the way he shoots them, the efficiency he shoots them with, and the volume he's taking them with. He's proven also to be a durable player. This was really the only year that he's dealt with injuries like that. His durability is actually kind of insane as well. Through the first 3 years of his career, he did not miss a single game. And then in his 4th year, he missed 5 games, but he still played 77. And this year again was the only year he really dealt with injuries like that. But again, there isn't a flaw in his game offensively. And defensively, you can say what you want, but he's so great offensively, it doesn't really matter. And I think right now, at the pace he's on, the pace that I believe he's going to set, already he's insane. Only 1 year in his career, he averaged below 20 points per game, and that was his rookie year. Only 1 year in his career, he shot below 35% from 3, and that was his rookie year when he only took 1 attempt. And if you look at it, every year he takes at least 3 attempts from 3 a game, he shoots above 35%, which means he's an above average league shooter from 3, at least. And over the past 3 years, he has been an elite 3-point shooter. 42% in year 3, 40% in year 4, and 41.2% in year 5. I don't know why people don't talk about him outside, like in the mainstream media, like he's one of the best offensive big men of all time, because he is. And I think it's all to do with the fact he plays in Minnesota and not a big market team. But I know among people who actually watch basketball and people who take basketball seriously, people like I know from YouTube, know how great offensively Cat is, but I don't know if the casual fan understands how absurdly gifted and talented Karl-Anthony Towns is. And right now, it looks like he's on a pace to be one of the best to ever do it. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. It means so much to me, guys. You guys don't understand. But again, thank you. Like and subscribe if you're new. Feel free to leave feedback in the comments section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.